Have you ever wondered how a mega hit audio series is really made? Is it just a stroke of creative genius? Or is there a science to it? A formula? Well, today we're pulling back the curtain and deconstructing the Lycan Algorithm. It's a high-tech werewolf thriller that was, and I mean this, perfectly engineered to be a smash hit on a platform that's literally built for addiction. All right, here's how we're going to break it down. First, we have to understand the sandbox this story is playing in, which is the audio series ecosystem. Then, we'll dive into the story's DNA with an algorithm of wolves and see how they're constantly upgrading the apex predator. After that, we'll look at the platform's secret weapon, the art of the cliffhanger, and finally, we'll tie it all together to show how this all works as a story as a service. So, to really get why the Lycan algorithm works so well, you gotta understand the rules of the game it's playing. See, this isn't just about telling a cool story. It's about engineering a story for a very specific arena, a platform called PocketFM. And here's the blueprint for that entire platform. It basically runs on three key ideas. First, you've got serialized fiction, so stories are told in these short daily episodes. Second, there's a wait to unlock system. If you're patient, you can listen for free, but for those of us who aren't, there are microtransactions using coins to get that next chapter right now. You know, this whole model creates some very, very clear rules if you want to succeed as a writer. The platform's algorithm literally rewards you for posting new episodes every single day. And because it's audio, the writing has to be super heavy on action and dialogue to keep you hooked. But the big one, the most important rule, every single chapter has to end on a cliffhanger. That's what gets listeners to spend those coins. Okay, so keeping those rules in your back pocket, let's finally talk about the story itself. The Lycan algorithm is this brilliant mashup of a slick high-tech thriller and classic werewolf lore, and it's all built with some really unique in-world mechanics. At the center of it all is our main character, Michael. His core ability is that he's a living processor. Basically, his mind can plug directly into technology. He sees the world as wireframes and streams of data. It's way more than just a superpower, right? It's the engine that gives this classic werewolf story a fresh, almost cyberpunk feel. And that ability sets up the story's main conflict perfectly. It's not just werewolves fighting humans. It's the cold, hard logic of an algorithm going up against the messy, chaotic, and unpredictable nature of human emotion. The story literally calls love and empathy a zero-day vulnerability. It's the one bug in the system the villain's perfect code just can't predict or control. This brings us to how characters power up. They call it a hard reboot. It's not just some random werewolf bite. In this world, it's a full-on system update. It's a way to shred corrupted code and unlock a character's true primal power. And of course, this allows for some absolutely massive plot twists and power escalations down the line. Now let's talk action. Because this is an audio series, you can't just describe a fight. You have to paint a picture with your words. And this series engineers its action scenes to be incredibly vivid and to constantly escalate. First off, there's a fundamental design rule in this world. The big-time werewolves, we're talking the main characters and the top-tier villains, they're all bipedal. They stand upright. They're human-shaped. So this isn't your classic monster running on all fours. No, this is a tactical, humanoid predator, which makes the action feel way more like a high-stakes martial arts movie. And this slide just lays out the power creep perfectly. Michael starts out as a Tier 3 alpha. He's tall, sleek, agile, and even has this cool digital amber HUD for his vision. But then, after that hard reboot, he jumps to a Tier 5. He's bigger, over 7 feet tall, his fur is void black, and his vision is a terrifying blood red infrared. It's a complete system overhaul, not just visually, but thematically. I mean, this quote from the story just says it all, doesn't it? It really captures the feeling of that upgrade. It's not just about getting stronger, it's about his entire nature changing. Going from something sleek and technical to something ancient, primal, and way more dangerous. Now that is how you make a power-up feel earned. Okay, so let's tie this all back to the business side of things. All this cool lore and action doesn't mean a thing if listeners don't come back for the next episode. And the entire financial engine of this platform, of PocketFM, runs on one perfectly crafted narrative tool, the cliffhanger. So for example, after that huge, hard reboot moment, the chapter doesn't give you any answers. No way. Instead, it ends on this massive question about the hero's new power level. It creates this immediate burning need to find out what the heck a Tier 5 anomaly can do. Here's another type they love to use, the ticking clock. The chapter ends not just with a threat, but with a catastrophic event that's already started. The pulse puts every single character in immediate life or death danger, and it makes it almost impossible not to hit that button for the next episode. And, sometimes the best cliffhanger is just a direct personal taunt from the villain. This line, delivered like a system admin message, it is absolutely chilling. It's a direct challenge that suddenly raises the stakes from a personal fight to a global threat. Let's be really clear about this. This isn't just for dramatic flair. Every single one of these cliffhangers is a carefully engineered moment of tension, and it's designed with one goal in mind: to get you to open your digital wallet and spend a coin to find out what happens next. All right, let's put all these puzzle pieces together. When you look at the lore, the action, and how every chapter is structured, you start to realize something. This isn't just a story. It's a service, designed from the ground up to be monetized. Remember these rules from the beginning? The whole freemium model with coins, the daily update bonuses for writers, the absolute demand for cliffhangers, and the need for really long stories. Now watch how the Lycan algorithm was built to absolutely ace every single one of these. The story's got over 30 chapters, so it checks the long-form box. It's structured for daily updates, hitting those creator bonuses. The plot is just this relentless engine of high-stakes action and cliffhangers to drive those coin sales. But here's the really genius part. That whole tiered power system, going from Tier 3 to Tier 5 and beyond, that's not just lore. It is a built-in engine for endless escalation, creating a never-ending supply of new plot hooks to keep you listening for hundreds of episodes. Which leaves us with a really fascinating question, doesn't it? I mean, the Lycan algorithm is a masterclass in designing content for a specific platform. It's gripping, it's addictive, and it's incredibly good at what it's designed to do. But when a story is so perfectly engineered to be a product, does that make it good art or just really, really good business? Something to think about.